Hey guys, Union Pacific and Rio Grande Historian here. Today we're going to actually go over a bit of the history of my channel. So let's go back to the very beginning. So circa 2013-2014. I'm starting kindergarten and I watched these YouTubers that I don't think I should watch when I'm this young. Vanos Gaming, Dath Dinogla, those, I love them. I loved Dan TDM, Stampy, I loved all of them. I loved gaming. So, yeah. And then, what happened is that I was like, you know what, I wanted to have a YouTube channel. I wanted to call it Epic Gamer. And I was like, now I think I actually look up some stuff to figure out, yeah. But, yeah. So, fast forward to 2019, and I am starting to figure out how I can create my YouTube channel. And a year goes by, and I know how to do it. It's just that it won't let me. Google is being retarded and won't let me. So give or take a year, and well, the virus starts, Corona, in March, and we're put into lockdown. And I was like, you know what? Let's try to create the channel. And I did. And I uploaded my first video the date of creation, I believe. So March 17th, 2020. And at that time I thought, oh yeah, my gaming channel's, I don't have it be a gaming channel, I'm going to be so popular. And I uploaded a couple videos. And they weren't pulling in views as I thought I would be pulling in lots of views. And I still think I could pull in lots of views, judging by some of my videos. And I still don't know how I could do that, and then we'll get to those videos. So, then I started doing stuff on trains, primarily little Lego trains, similar to, there's some in there, but just little Lego trains that were made out of bricks, and they were, yeah, I became, not, I became a bit of, I gained a lot of subscribers from them, let's just say that, and I've made over 100 of them, and I think about 20 are sitting in a separate bin while the others are in bags that I created for them. And I've created over 100. I think I've hit maybe even 200 at this point. I don't know. And if you're wondering, I'm probably not going to upload any more videos on them. I'm still going to create trains like that because, well, yeah, I like making them. They're cool. It's cool to make little Lego trains that I could basically throw in my pocket, take it anywhere. So, yeah. So, after that, then it came to figuring out, what am I going to do now? And because I uploaded like 5 videos at that point, I need to mix it up a bit. I was like that. And then, I got a thought. 10 Ways to Kill Toad. And that was my first real series on my channel, where I would basically take a Toad plushie, specifically this one, and I would pick random deaths for him, and whatnot. And, yeah. So, I would do that, stuff like that. I would do my train stuff. This was all when I was in 7th grade. So, I was 13 at the time. So, yeah. Then, around December, I started to loosen up on making videos after I started to have to watch my storage and whatnot, because I'm still using my iPhone. I'm probably going to be using it for a long time until I'm able to afford a good camera. And, yeah. So, then I started getting back into the swing of things a bit after December of 2021 in January. And then we're in January 2021, and we go through a bunch of stuff. We do a bunch of stuff, as I remember. I'm not going to actually check my channel. But, like, at that time, I uploaded very sparsely, and you would see a video 1 month ago, and then 2 weeks ago, and then a day ago, and then 2 months later, I would upload a video. So, like, that would happen. Like, I would be uploading randomly, and then over that summer, my storage got full, and I started doing similar videos of what I did for a bit, where I would upload maybe a 10-minute video, and that's all, of something. It could be of Lego trains, it could be of anything. And, but, we're gonna go back to just before, I know December. It's December 2020, and I create in total of a total of 5 locomotives. And they're all from Unstoppable, the famous train movie. And I uploaded it on YouTube, and I expected to get the average 10 to 20 views. On my, no, well, more like 1 to 20 views my videos got. I looked on it a week later, and I have over 1,000 views on it. And I'm like, whoo, that's a lot. So yeah, and no, I don't get money. I don't know why. I'm not willing to find out either. So, yeah. But yeah. So yeah, so that happened in that time. So then, let's fast forward to October 2021, and that's when my iPhone 7 goes out on me, and it doesn't work. When it dies, it breaks itself, basically. And I don't know if it's because of how many videos I uploaded or what, but it just doesn't work at that point. So that December, I got a new iPhone, the iPhone 10, which I'm using still. And then it became 2022. And then I started uploading more on, like, I would upload sparsely still, and I would only do a couple things. And then I think it was April, maybe March, I don't know. But I uploaded my first video on Teenage Model Railroading, which was a small series I did that whole day, and basically would lay the ground rules to how I would model currently, which I'm probably going to do a video update on that. So yeah, so we get to, so now it's August 2022, I have a DCC command system now, and yeah, a couple other things, and yeah. So now, we're going to take a turn. We're going to do a deep dive on some of the topics that that was sort of the history in general of my channel. And, oh yeah, in October, I also changed my name to Union Pacific and Rio Grande Historian, because, hey, I love the Rio Grande. I feel at home with it, because I love narrow gauge. So let's actually go back to, we're going to go back, and we're going to cover Epic Gamer. So what Epic Gamer was supposed to be a gaming channel for me, where I would get on, like, Minecraft, maybe Fortnite if I felt like it. I only really played Minecraft on it, but, I would play, and I would do stuff. My first video that you guys heard my voice was a voiceover video I made, so yeah. And, yeah, and that's how basically I became Epic Gamer, and a couple weeks later, I was like, you know what, this gaming thing isn't going so well. Let's create another channel, this was, I think, just after I created my first Lego model, which was the Yellow Union Pacific, maybe Tier 4 Gevo. I can't remember. I think it's a Tier 4 Gevo, maybe SD45, maybe. I don't know. Honestly, it was just a freelance model. It wasn't before I actually started to get into railroading, and started being a historian. Even though I'm not a historian now, even though there's a historian, I might do something else. Yeah, that was Epic Gamer. And then, when Union Pacific Kid was created, it was mainly because, I was like, hey, I have nothing to do. What can I do? And, yeah. And at that time, when I changed the Union Pacific Kid, that's when I started to work with Havoc Smith a bit more and do a lot more stuff with him, where I would play Minecraft with him. We played Piggy with him. I wouldn't upload videos necessarily. I think I only uploaded a couple of Minecraft videos on when I was Union Pacific Kid. So yeah, and I would just play with him. But with the birth of Union Pacific Kid came a birth of another thing, the LAL, or the Lawson and Loveland Railroad. Basically, I had plans to make different historical videos on what happened to it and how it started out as a small narrow gauge line and so it expanded to going as far east as St. Louis and as far west as Sacramento and all the way down to the Texas-Mexican border. The interchange with a Mexican rail company. So yeah, and it would last up until today, with Union Pacific gifting us a single locomotive that we just kept its paint scheme on, because we didn't really need it, but yeah, and we were the only steam railroad left on it. So yeah, and that was the LAL, basically, and I would build, and that's actually how the little trains would come into existence, is because I would have them. So yeah. So that explains a bit more. And I would have different locomotives, no matter if they were fictional or real. Although most of the real engines weren't owned by the LAL, they were rented out. So the Union Pacific Big Boy 4014 rented out by LAL from I'm going to say June 2021 to 2025 or something. Like 5-year rental periods. That's when it would happen. So yeah. And then in October, I realized that I loved the Rio Grande. And I went up to Gunnison and I saw number 268, which I actually have. I have since then in Lego form. Currently, I have both the tender and the locomotive, and I do have a single gondola car for it, but yeah, and it does have a couple of different stacks based on it, but 268, I was like, that's my favorite Rio Grande locomotive right there. I love it. It was a beautiful locomotive. I loved its bumblebee paint scheme, and I did look up on YouTube the crash scene it was featured in, and it was a very cool scene, but I didn't like it because, of course, 268 got destroyed, so yeah. So, yeah. So, with the coming of Union Pacific and Rio Grande Historian came sort of the ending period of the LAL, and I started to do other stuff, and I didn't really rail fan as much. I was sort of in between. I would do a bunch of different stuff. Mainly, still the same. I would upload one video every couple of weeks, maybe a couple months. Yeah. So, tomorrow, well, not tomorrow, okay, so, yeah, And then I was like, you know what? I have the L scale trains, which, if you didn't know, are the trains that can run on the official Lego track. So, like the Emerald Knight, all that. And I've literally taken apart all those sets and made custom locomotives. And a couple of weeks ago, you saw that I uploaded something. The D and W #1, which was a Shay. And uh, like that got some pretty good stuff. It got like 23 likes, 5 dislikes. I really don't care if you did like or dislike my content. At this point, my YouTube channel is probably dying, but I'm starting to bring it back to life because I'm starting to upload bi-weekly and weekly. Let's just say that. And basically, what I'm planning to do is make a different railroad that I can actually do something with, and not like the LAL, where it's just a bunch of little Lego trains that I can't do really history on. This one I can. So I'm gonna give you a quick rundown on it. So the Denver and Western Railroad started out as a standard gauge railroad that went from Denver, Colorado, all the way up to around Black Hawk. Yeah. But yeah. Well, it attempted to go to Black Hawk. Let's just say that it didn't really make it out of Denver. It made it to Golden, but not to Denver. So what they decided to do is they made a contract with the Colorado and Southern, which they were doing narrow gauge up the Clear Creek. So they were like, okay, take us to Black Hawk, and we'll do something from there, okay? And Colorado and Southern was like, you know what? Yeah, but you have to ship stuff through us. And I'm like, okay, can we keep the name Denver and Western though? And they're like, you know what? Screw it. You can, even though, and this is a fictional road, so you guys know. But what I did is that basically I made it in this fictional universe that shared tracks were on the Denver and Western, Colorado and Southern. Even though the Colorado and Southern owned the tracks, it was shared by the Denver and Westerns, where then they could still keep their name Denver and Western. So they started a separate little logging company called the West Denver Logging Company, and I just made that up on the spot. So, and that's actually what the railroad started doing, was lumber, and they bought their first locomotive in January of 1902, which was a Class B Shay. And I know the one in the video that I showed didn't look like a Class B Shay. This is the new #1. It is a Class B Shay now. I've made it that way. So, yeah. And it basically runs the railroad and whatnot. So, yeah. And I do have their second locomotive, which is going to be a baby Heisler. So yeah, the Shay, I'm probably going to do a more in-depth review next week, or today maybe, if I am not lazy enough to do it. If I'm active enough to do it, I will. But yeah, this, unlike Shay, does not have a lot of interior detail. So you cannot see, there's not a lot of stuff in there. Yeah, if you're wondering, yes, this can be narrow. I do have the parts and pieces, parts, which are literally the 2x2 pieces with the, whatever it's called out, that you can put the wheels on. You can put these little wheels on, if you know, and I can make I can make narrow gauge for this, which I'm wishing I can do, but not right now. And that locomotive is actually going to be the head of a different company, the West Denver Mining Company, which will do something else. And I do have a diesel locomotive and a normal steam locomotive in the roster, but I don't know what I'm actually going to do with those. I might turn one into a Climax and one into a Caboose. We'll see. Or maybe one into a Boxcar. I have no idea at this point, as you can tell. So, yeah. But, yeah, so new railroad channel is going to hopefully upload more. We'll see. But, yeah. I may be making a short on number 1 today. Sort of a remake of the one you saw last week. Or the week before. I don't really care when I uploaded the video. But yeah, so I will see you guys sometime soon. Okay, bye.